Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to talk about condition hold today. I had come up on YouTube and hadn't been talked about much in the forums lately. Also come up amongst some friends who also use Futaba or are new to it, coming from like a 14SG or an 8FG over to the 18SZ. Condition hold's available on the higher end Futaba radios. It's on the 12Z, the 14MZ, the 16SZ, the 18SZ, the 18MZ, and of course the 18MZ World Championship radios. Condition hold is separate from throttle hold. Throttle hold, of course, is a condition. You can see there, hold with the SG switch by default. Whereas condition hold holds all those conditions from being activated, from the throttle being activated in those conditions as you flip through them with it on. So this allows you to adjust settings within the radio for idle up 1 or idle up 2 while the helicopter is on without it spooling up. Condition hold takes effect about 1/3 of the throttle stick throw from full negative. So you'll kind of see as I move the stick up, you'll see it turns off right there. Of course, as I go higher up, it stays off. So that means it wouldn't allow me to activate it with my throttle stick above the 1/3 mark. And of course, just as I pointed out, condition hold is enabled with the button on the main menu. So here, when I enable it, of course you can hear it beeping away. That means condition hold is on. The other thing is if switches are in positions where it will allow immediate spool up. So for example, I'll put it in idle up 1, it won't let me turn it off. If I turn the throttle up too high, still won't let me turn it off. You have to have the throttle in a safe area in order for it to be turned off so that you don't experience a sudden spool up or unexpected spool up. For nitro electric helicopters with a normal condition with a linear throttle curve, nothing extra needs to be set up. Really the thing is you need to make sure you bring your throttle stick collective all the way down here to 0. As when you turn this on, it's taking the value of where the stick was at. So of course -100 would be, like for nitro, would be at an idle, or an electric would be off. I'm gonna go back. Now, if you were, many of us have gone to using straight line throttle curves for normal, so we can actually do 3D in normal mode. You would want to enable something. You would want to enable throttle cut. Many of us who've flown nitro are familiar with throttle cut. We use the momentary switch to activate it, to turn the engine off. For electrics, a few of us actually use throttle cut on electrics to show the ESC like a 0, to allow the ESC to initialize to spool up the motor, or to re-enable slow spool up if the rotor head was stopped and we were flying. That way the helicopter doesn't do like a quick spool up and damage itself on the ground if you had the head stopped. So also on the electrics, before you enable it, you would enable throttle cut first before you would hit condition hold. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and make a throttle curve that is a straight line, much as you've seen in other videos. I'm gonna do +10. And then I'm gonna remove the other points. So now we have a straight line throttle curve. You'll see it in the servo screen. I move my thing up and down in normal mode, and it stays at 10 the whole time, just as we selected a moment ago. You see the throttle's not moving, but the collective is showing that I am moving the stick up and down. If you were to enable this right now, the helicopter would be spooled up, even if you were in throttle hold. It won't let you turn it on in throttle hold, but it would spool up. So what you want to do is you want to enable that throttle cut. So we're going to go in here, throttle cut, and turn it on. I like to use the switch SB. I'm going to set it so it turns on the 3-position switch. You'll see the animation, so it turns on all the other 2 positions. And now, let's see how it turns off and on. But I'm going to enact throttle cut. And you'll see on the servo monitor in normal mode, I am now have the throttle completely cut. So when I enact that, my throttle condition is completely cut off if I was running on electric. And you'll see it says normal, and I can flip through all my switches, and it's not actually going to change the throttle. We'll go ahead and show it here. I'll move the stick up and down. You'll see it. Stick's moving up and down. Throttle staying. You can even go so far as to mesh with your throttle cut switch. The fun part is, even with the throttle cut switch in the wrong position, it looks like it can turn off, but it won't allow it. Not until I put that throttle cut switch back in the proper position will allow me to turn it off. So, and what this allows you to do, just an example, to put my throttle cut switch in proper position, turn condition, hold on. This allows us to adjust gyro settings. So I'll adjust gyro in normal, flip into idle 1, I'll adjust the gyro again, idle 2. So I can adjust my gyro, or if I wanted to, I could adjust throttle curve. So like we were, right now condition hold is on. And we're going to go like plus 20. We'll do our move. But I won't go all the way through it. But it'll allow you to adjust those settings without turning off the helicopter. Without having to unplug a battery. That way, you know, it doesn't take quite as long to make adjustments on the helicopter. And you can see what's going on as far as like if you're going to adjust a pitch curve or if you're going to adjust a gyro. And of course, we're going to turn this off and we go back to flying.